Now then, YouTube, back with another one. Reacting to this little video here of Crowder going back to debate a professor. So I'll get to watch into my perspective quite yet. This.
Steven Crowder has been trying to find a professor who will debate him for years now.
10 schools we reached out to. This is 10 years in the making.
And finally, he has found a professor who has agreed.
Steve, I'm a liberal Democrat.
I know.
And I know that you are not.
That's true.
And that's precisely why we should talk to each other.
It's all been set for this Friday. Suddenly, the school is claiming, oh, nope, we can't live stream it.
The venue then messaged us the following. The university is aware that this will be recorded. They typically ask that events not be live streamed, but played at a later time or date. That's exactly what we didn't want to do.
Crowder and his guys even have the recordings of the negotiations, so we know this was all set.
The internet is private, but I can get you a private IP address for them.
Great.
Logistics, follow-up, you guys cover the costs. Great. We've announced this to you. Many hundreds of you have already reserved your tickets.
This is just a classic pattern that we see. Why are these colleges afraid?
One staffer told the DP that they worry that the debate could perpetuate, quote,
hate, bigotry, and ignorance into the world and into the University of Penn State.
Keep in mind, this is the school that sent, I believe, 16 girls who came forward.
It's quite comical because this is like some of the same talking points from 2018, so like 8 years still in the. Not that the left will never debate the right. It's just, I don't know. They're always really squirrely and hard to pin them down. They do it, but I mean, I'm not going to say that the left never debate the right, but they don't do it as much as they should, and they don't do it as much without getting emotional. Certain ones, like say that what's the name now? They'll come back to me anyway, get into this.
When they discussed penis in their locker room, making them uncomfortable, they were sent to the, I believe, LGBTQ Center for counseling, and as I understand it, no investigation.
And Stephen has been trying to do this for years. 7 years ago, Stephen had a debate set up, and this professor you're about to see called to shut it down.
So considering this teacher of logic was teaching slander and libel to his students to prevent anyone here from making a living, we alerted the UT Arlington dean.
Refer you, Mr. Crowder, to either our university attorneys.
Not only did the school do nothing, they went out of their way to support Professor. Now, keep in mind, this professor has also publicly protested and harassed conservative students.
I think this is something that is important to Stephen. He probably receives many messages from students who are being shut down in class, having their grades affected, don't feel like they can speak out.
Yeah, it must be a crazy time to be in. This wasn't really that much at all a thing. And at one point, I used to think that they should teach politics in school. But now I think that kind of is a poisoned well. Nobody won't be able to teach it from a neutral point of view. So it would be too late now to sort of start instilling that into schools. I imagine it's quite tricky, especially with what we see with the divergence between girls, women becoming more left-leaning and men becoming more right-leaning. It is, we can just see what does occur.
I just encountered this last Friday when I was debating Brian Shapiro and a guest on critical.
That's his name, Brian Shapiro. I don't like that guy. He is a bad debate person to put forward by the left. You guys should be embarrassed about it.
Race theory, and he opened up the phone lines to callers, and this exact dynamic occurred.
Stephen is next up on PTL. What's up, Stephen?
Hey, I just really want to voice on something that I've been really pissed about lately.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to be completely honest. I'm still in schooling, right? And I don't like that because my teachers disagree with me politically, that I am treated differently from others in my classroom.
How are you treated differently? How are you treated?
Oh, see, look, classic. If this had been a different situation, he would not have responded like that. It's always the classic moving of the goalposts with the left. You can never quite sort of pin them down because they're always trying to move the goalposts. If this scenario was reversed the other direction, then how awful it was for a student to be treated differently because of their political opinions if they were a communist or so.
differently than others? What school do you go to? What are you referencing? Is it high school? Is it college? I have no idea how old you are. What school do you go to?
I'm in high school, but I'm not going to specify.
Okay. So how are you being treated? How are you being treated differently? Give me an example.
My teachers don't respect me. They're more.
Why do you say they don't respect you? Which is subjective, but go ahead.
They like to call me out, and I just be.
They liked.
I'm not sure if I would agree that respect is. To be honest, I kind of think you can tell if somebody respects you or not from their actions and how they speak to you. It's use. Granted, it can be misinterpreted, so it's not sort of foolproof. But don't 100% agree with him.
I get my work done.
Brian, let him talk, man. You just let the other caller rage. Why are you suddenly like so aggressive against this kid?
Lauren, hold on a second, because while you might be on his side, I want people to be.
He hasn't even landed on a side yet. He just said teachers are not letting him talk.
Okay, because I want people to be specific and not just make generalizations. I want him to give me a specific.
Like the last guy, about white people raging or being idiots. All right, man.
Well, yeah, Pam Bondi's an idiot. We both agreed with that. Okay, go ahead, caller.
Mention something.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest. I support Donald.
So childish, man. Childish. Oh. I don't know if he has the patience to keep interacting with him. I think he's reoccurring. I mean, it's good that he does keep doing it, but I mean, I don't know, man. He's so annoying and so like arrogant. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm too new to Christ. I just think it vexate me a bit too much. I'd be like, be wasting my time. Could be spending my time better elsewhere. But maybe Warren is just see it as a worthy use of his time. You know, I'm not gonna pass judgment. He's a lot more successful than me, so.
Trump.
Okay, but hold on. You see, Warren, this is why I do this, because the guy's all over the place. This is why I try to nail them down. He made a claim. Give me an example of your teacher mistreating you and not respecting you. You said your teacher doesn't respect you because you're a Trump supporter. By the way, I don't believe you, but go ahead and give me an example. Give me a specific example.
Right now, man.
Give me an example. Go ahead.
I'm trying to, please.
We starting to get the picture as to why intellectual diversity and freedom of speech does not exist on campus.
This message is sponsored by Raycon. With Mother's Day coming up, I've been thinking about gifts that people actually use, not just something that sits in a drawer. For active moms who are always on the go, I found the perfect gift. Raycon's bone conduction headphones are a smart option. They don't go inside your ears, they sit just outside, so she can listen to music or podcasts without totally shutting out the world around her. Whether she's out for a walk, doing yoga, or running errands, she can stay aware of her surroundings while still getting clear, high-quality sound. So I love to use these when I go mountain biking. Anything where I'm worried about them falling off. If you've used earbuds, you probably know how easily they fall out. These, you do not have that problem, and they maintain your situational awareness, which is incredibly important. It doesn't sound like your ears are plugged by anything. You can hear everything around you. Right now, they're on. There's a podcast playing, but it doesn't sound like I have headphones in. So it's great for part of your everyday carry. Headphones are one of the things I use the most. They've got 13 hours of battery life. They're waterproof, dustproof. They feature a no-bud fit that doesn't slip. So if you're looking for a gift that actually fits into someone's daily routine, this is a great pick. Celebrate the moms in your life. Go to buyraycon.com/WarrenBC to get 15% off the bone conduction headphones. Thank you to Raycon for sponsoring.
How do you think the students feel? If this is the environment, how do you think students on campus feel who can't front tens of thousands of dollars and haven't built up the infrastructure for security?
I'm an A student. I get my work done. I'm getting recommendations for a lot of places from a lot of my other teachers, but I have about two that, because of what I support, they are nowhere near for me, even though I'm respectful to them.
And I'm asking you again to be specific.
Brian, I have seen him. I have experienced it.
Why has he got a shout, man? Aggressive, man.
I was a high school teacher. This happens. If you put in the wrong opinion, they will dock your grade. Why are you?
Yeah, to be fair, right, I once knew a teacher that said that, and he almost said to me, because I was complaining that at university I got a lower grade than somebody else, even though I knew I should have got an higher grade, and might not get too much of that example. But then teacher of high school, secondary school, he said that you can't help it when you're marking the work. kind of understood, I suppose, to some degree. You know, it might be a bit subjective where you think the landing marks, but it's an hard one way to land. I mean, it shouldn't be happening, really, to be honest. You should be, like, as objective as possible. You know, I'm not a teacher, though, so I can't really speak from experience. I can't go out to defend subjective, you know, point of view of marking. At the same time, you know, this shouldn't be happening, really. Somebody's future, potentially, by the sounds of it, could be getting affected because of the perspective of a few of their teachers.
Acting like this doesn't happen, but you act like racism happens every day at an institutional level.
Warren, I was yelled at a lot in school, and I can promise you it had nothing to do with my political affiliation. Okay, Warren, do you have anything you'd like to add to that?
I mean, that would just prove the point for the right wingers. We're able to say his political opinions unbounded.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I experienced the same thing when I pushed back on me being told to be quiet in class because of the color of my skin. So I assure everyone listening, this does happen. And honest, I understand, Brian, why you'd be frustrated with me in my response, but it is an example of how this occurs when you immediately detected this guy must be coming from the right, because this doesn't happen to leftists. Like right-leaning teachers don't shut down students.
Here's what I would
don't
say.
Care about this thing. Can I just finish my response to you? And so you exhibited in your behavior to this caller the very dynamic the caller is trying to articulate, claiming you have no evidence, yet we have other callers make these claims about races and groups of people in ways that are far more atrocious than anything this young man just said.
What are you afraid of? Why are you so afraid of it being live streamed? You're not even allowing the professor who's participating in the debate to make the decision himself. Why are you making the decision for him?
In the end, we ended up with only one professor at UPenn, Jonathan Zimmerman, who was very gracious, accepted it, the only one with the balls to show up. But I'm going to actually show you the terms, the kinds of conversations that had taken place with other professors, so you understand just how much they have tried to avoid and control dialogue. But one did accept.
Shouldn't you be able to give professors and students the freedom to make the decision themselves?
Why do you think you're the only one who said yes?
Well, look, I can't speak for any of my colleagues who said no. All I can tell you is why I said yes, right? And the reason I said yes is because I believe in dialogue across difference. Steve, I'm a liberal Democrat.
I know.
And I know that you are not.
That's true.
And that's precisely why we should talk to each other.
If they want to participate in a live stream, they should be able to do so. It's similar to what I've encountered in the past.
Because that's how I think people learn.
Right.
I generally don't learn from people I agree with. I learn from people I disagree with.
You can't even allow students the choice. Even if they're over 18, they agree, their parents agree, they've signed releases. Nope. It's against the rules. It just does not make sense. And Stephen has been trying to do this for years.
He's been invited for an open forum debate repeatedly and has declined it. We're okay fronting the costs for security. We're many, many tens of thousands of dollars in to try and make this event happen. I don't have an answer as to why they're changing it around. I just know that they are. So our team did a full security walkthrough on April 1st. The venue would not allow us to complete many of our standard security protocols.
Apparently, it's happening Friday. They're going. Crowder's going. He'll be there. And they've made it clear they're going to live stream, as they should. So if you're a student at Penn State, do what you can to make this happen. Allow this to occur. Allow a conversation to occur and have it shared live.
We'll be going.
Yeah.
We'll be bringing the check. We'll be fronting the costs. Give us the security estimate so we can use whoever you want there along with our security who ensure that I don't get shot. And we'll be there. And we'll live stream this debate. UPenn, April 10th, 7 p.m. Right? UPenn? Are we good?
So, I'll have a look at some comments. And anyway, just see what the gist is. Stephen himself, thanks for covering. We're still going to make it happen, just not at UPenn campus. Somewhere we can live stream and secure the location as per the agreement, as the unreasonable demands are. Sorry, I can't even talk now. Give me an example, Warren. You're doing it right now, man. Yeah, it was like quite ironic that Brian couldn't notice what he was doing. Only let the guy talk. Yep, same here, man. He's so annoying. He's proving the kid's point exactly. Zero self-awareness. A liberal university shutting down debate and free speech. Imagine my shock. These communists are scared of being called out. More shocked than. Yeah, sounds pretty fascist, huh? Leftist, not liberal. You cannot be liberal and oppose free speech. This guy treating the caller the way they exactly what his teacher does to him. Yeah, no. Of a validation for this, our side of the argument. Oh, I have not noticed that I had been leaving myself over the comments on this side. I do apologize. Friendship Shapiro is an absolute joke. Yep, absolutely hilarious watching Brian literally demonstrate the exact behavior the caller is trying to articulate and look completely bewildered at what his point is. Can't make this shit up. Awesome energy, Warren. Thank you for sticking up for that kid. Yeah. I don't really have a lot to say, I suppose, because there was no meat and potatoes to get into other than should students be marked down? And no, obviously they shouldn't be marked as best as possible. I don't know. It's I do know. Sorry. But in one way, would just be always multiple choice exams, but really tenable either. That doesn't allow students to express themselves, and not everything is broken down into multiple choice either. That's the right sort of thing with like an art degree into it. Could make it. When I went to university, there was somebody who made artwork out of biro and paper, and still got still passed the degree. So anyway, that's the end of that one. Link for this in the description. I'll see you in the next one. Yeah.